made it. Let me just say, I needed this, we needed this, the inspiring conversation, the back and forth ideas, the bridging of worlds. We had governments, community groups, philanthropy, tech organizations, and academic institutions. And when we put them together, they are even more powerful. And I want to say, I know Summit's not over yet, but it is the last time that together we'll be in one space. And for those who are joining us virtually, I want to make sure that I give the opportunity to thank everyone who's spoken at this summit, virtually, online, in our breakout sessions. I've seen the hours people have spent and the backstage high-fiving, the increasing conversation and ongoing collaboration even after the panel ends. I want to say to all the speakers out there who took that time, you have made the summit exactly what so many of us needed. So let's give them all a round of applause. And I hope you can hear this virtually. So I'll only have a few comments here, but I wanted to take the time to reflect on our first hybrid, our first DC summit, and I took away 3 different observations. First, we have incredible leaders, incredible voices, perspectives, or as Alicia Menendez said, heroes in this room, but out there doing the work to make things better. From our federal CIO at OMB, Claire Matarama, shepherding unprecedented commitment to building the infrastructure for human-centered government. We had Victor Udoai as the Chief Experience Officer at NASA, who said, instead of DEI, we say AJEDI, accessibility, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, pushing us all to think beyond having diverse hiring and instead centering the work that must happen for real change. Second, we have a real opening right now. We in the civic tech ecosystem. We have an opening right now because all across the country, at all levels of government, people are beginning to do things differently, to build trust for lasting change. As the director of Center of Government Excellence at Johns Hopkins, Amber Ivy said, building trust starts with bringing everyone to the table. We empower people by helping them to be part of the solution. Or county manager of Macon Bibb in Georgia, I think I saw him out there just a little while ago, Dr. Keith Moffitt, who in a side conversation said, we are in a moment where money meets the movement, and we are beginning to see city and county governments try and do it differently and figure it out, but we need more folks who can drive change, good change. And what he said is, the time is now. But my biggest takeaway from this, especially this being my first Code for America Summit as CEO in person, is that this really is a truly special gathering. In a world that feels heavy right now, I came away with there is light, hope, and possibility here. That's what we found here together. Light in reading the chat boxes on Hopin. You all are not just funny, but also brilliant. Or feeling the energy of the live play-by-play from our OpenGov podcasters that I know many of you saw out there as you entered the hallway, or the recounting of Hill Day from brigade volunteers who shared what human-centered design means with members of Congress. And I'm sure they brought some fun and light even to the halls of Congress. And I also want to say there was a lot of hope here that was shared throughout these 2 days. We heard from the Vice President sharing her vision of connecting the country so that everyone has internet access once and for all. Or the words of Diane Sullivan, co-founder of Equitable Spaces in Design Justice, when she said, there is so much more that people with lived experience have to offer. We all know in our work that lived experience accelerates outcomes for people who've been left out, for people who've been forgotten, and hearing government leaders really all across the 2 days at all levels of government talk about the importance of lived experience is hopeful. And lastly, this community, this summit, continues to be a place of possibility. Whether it's Bexar County, Texas, or the city of Boston, or in the capital of Utah, or the city of Alexandria, we heard from all kinds of cities. In fact, there are 45 different states that were represented at this summit. And we also heard stories from around the world, from Mexico City to Amsterdam to Canada to Montenegro. We had a lot of conversations about showing what's possible. And the only way we could do that is really the heart, talent, and commitment that you all put into this work. And so, once again, I want to thank you, because this is, and I think we're all reminded, being together in person again, how truly special this gathering is. As we had people come in from government, as we had people who are on the front lines say, gosh, I can feel the energy again. I know we can do this. So thank you for bringing the showing what is possible to the world. And I can't wait till we meet again, because I also have a sense that this is just the beginning of showing people what we can do as a collective community together. And so I'm going to end a little bit where I began in the opening statements, because I do believe in what FDR wrote when he said, our strong and active faith is what will create a better tomorrow for all of us. So thank you so much for being here virtually, and just really appreciate your welcoming to me on this stage as well.